Hey guys, welcome back to another Azure gaming video, and today we're going to talk about White Dragon Ling. So she's going to be buffer and debuffer in normal form, and buffer and attacker in brave shift form. So we're going to talk about her normal form, brave shift form, STMR, TMR, vision card, how to build her, and should you pull for her. Alright, let's go. So her STMR is called the White Dragon Fangs. It gives 190 attack, and it also gives 20% HP and 100% LB fill rate, so it's not the highest attack dagger in the game. That title goes to a fully upgraded Ultima weapon FF9. The second one is Thornberry's Knife at 192 attack. Still, this dagger is great on Ling since it activates her Trust passive. It also gives 20% HP and 150 LB fill, which are great bonuses. I'll explain later. Okay, so here is her TMR Refined Movement. It gives 40% attack and HP, and also gives 50% LB fill rate. So this is also not the best TMR for a specific stat, either HP or attack or fill rate. But it's useful if you want a DPS to have a bit of bulk. And also the LB fill rate is nice as well. This is quite useful on Ling since some of her abilities can inflict damage on her, and some of her abilities cost LB crisps. This video is sponsored by Amazon Coins. Get 10,000 Amazon coins for $80 instead of $100. That's a savings of 20%. You can use the Amazon coins to buy lapis for FFBE. I placed a link in the description below. Check it out after you watch the video. Alright, so here is her vision card. Dramatic costume change at level 10. It gives 115 attack. Gives 50% unconditional attack and 40% HP at level 10. So this is the highest flat attack vision card in the game. So really good on damage healers, physical damage healers. Because of the 50% unconditional attack percentage, which is awesome. Level 10 ability could be better for damage healers, but it is really good on Ling because some of her abilities, like I said, damage her. So increasing her HP will mitigate that somehow. Alright, really good vision card. I would EX3 Ling just to get 2 copies of this. Alright, so normal form, White Dragon Ling is a support and debuffer in normal form. She has true wave shift. That means she can freely go from one form to another without restrictions, and has better defensive base stats in normal form than her brave form. Her kit is absolutely transcendent and arguably the best supporter in the game right now, for both her normal form and brave shift form. She is definitely the star of the banner, better than Envy Louise, although Envy Louise is also good. Her most notable skills are her ability to increase the morale gauge by 650 every other turn, so you can only cast it every other turn. It's an active ability. And she can also buff stats by 320, so that's the highest in the game right now, before we get Envy Aerith. To all allies if the morale gauge is below 50%. Alright, so she can also debuff all enemy stats by 85%, while filling her LB gauge by 30. It also unlocks triple cast, 4-turn cooldown, and she can also perform AoE re-raise. AoE raise 50%, fill her LB gauge by 30, and also unlocks triple cast, 4-turn cooldown. She can dual cast all her abilities. Cure all status elements, increase all status element resistance from and to all allies. She can buff spirit and defense by 250%, mitigate physical and magic damage by 45%, and cure spirit and defense breaks to all allies. These abilities cost LB. Buff all stats by 250 to all allies, fill her LB gauge by 15, and fill morale gauge by 100 after using certain moves. So this is combo move. She can also fill LB gauge by 90 to herself and 30 to all allies, while putting up a 4-stack AoE Mirage and enabling triple cast. So this has a downside of doing 10,000 fixed self damage to her. This is on a 6-turn cooldown, available on turn 2. So 4 turns, I think. Okay, so you can cast this again on turn 8. Heal 8,000 HP to all allies while putting up a 2-stack AoE Mirage. Cost LB.
and recovers 100 MP and fill LB gauge by 10 to all allies. This also does 4,000 self damage, so really good support kit here. She can also dispel all enemies and all allies, so just hit the reset button. She can buff attack and mag by 250 to all allies while enabling them triple cast, physical Stardust Ray chaining, and also magic physical attack but magic based Chaos Wave Awaken abilities, which means you can view that with any element. Or any ally can use that and triple cast it, and it has decent modifiers at 70, so you can actually use it. Alright, so she can also debuff one enemy stats by 80 and Imperial Dagger by 25. This one costs LB. Apply 50% all damage mitigation, so that's general, magic, and physical mitigation to all allies. Really nice. Defensive skill there. 5,000 HP barrier and increase her LB gauge by 45. So this can only be used maximum 2 times per battle on a 1-turn cooldown. Alright, so if you really need an emergency defense skill, this is the one to use. She can also recover 125 MP, 10 LB to all allies, and fill morale gauge by 200 when the morale gauge is above 150. So if you manage to push the morale gauge up to 150, she can use this skill. And lastly, her LB buffs defense spirit by 300%, mitigates general damage by 55, so slightly higher than her on-demand skill. Also grants a 4,000 HP barrier, casts auto re-raise 80% HP to all allies for 5 turns. Really nice LB as well. This costs 90 LB, so really expensive, but she does have a lot of skills that fill her LB, and also she has a lot of LB fill rate. Alright, so that's her normal form, really good buffer and debuffer. Here are her passives. She has static 1000 HP, 300 static defense and spirit. She also has 150% attack and mag. And she already has max true dual wield, so you don't really need to gear her for true dual wield, except this normal form doesn't do any damage. Alright, innate true dual wield. She also has 90 HP, MP, defense, and spirit, but if you have her Trust Master or Super Trust Master equipped, she gets another 30% on top of those. Element resistances is Sleep, Paralyze, Confuse, Petrify, and Charm, which is really nice. She has 50% Fire and Light resist, and 200% Physical and Magic, Beast, Human, Machina, and Reaper Killer. Miscellaneous abilities include 10% MP refresh. She also has 50% physical evade, so you can build her for a passive provoke tank or just for physical evasion. 6 auto LB and 200% fill rate if you equip her Trust Master or Super Trust Master, and a triple cast on turn 1 if you have her Trust passive proc. So she is extremely bulky thanks to her high defensive passives and 300 defense, spirit, and HP static stat bonuses, 1000 HP by the way. She also has a lot of natural status ailment resistances. She also generates a lot of LB per turn. In addition to her high natural LB fill rate, she also has that TMR and STMR that contribute to that. She also has 50% physical evade. Offensive stats are amazing, but she doesn't really do any damage in this form apart from her granted chaining skills of Stardust Ray and Chaos Wave Awakened. Alright, so I'm pretty satisfied with her normal form passives. Nothing really missing there. She even has high HP, MP, defense, and spirit, which is really nice. Okay, so let's move on to her British form. Alright, sorry, weapon selection are these, but you'll most likely equip her with daggers because she has that dagger in peril, and her STMR is a dagger. Alright, so she is kind of limited with the armor. She cannot equip helmets, but she can equip hats, etc. Do note that she has affinity for green magic level 8, so if you want to use some green magic, she is able to do that. Okay, so British form. White Dragon Ling turns into a support physical damage healer in British form. She gets a slightly higher attack base stat at sacrifice of her defensive stats in BS form. So lower defensive spirit, higher attack. She can AoE buff 4 killers. Imagine that. Physical and magic, namely humans, machines, reapers, and beasts by 150%, while mitigating damage coming from them by 25% for both physical and magic damage. These abilities cost a B, however, so that's a catch there. She still has access to most of her normal form abilities. Her new abilities are as follows. So buff attack and mag by 280%, cure attack and mag breaks, and buff LB fill rate by 200% for all allies while unlocking triple cast. This is on a 4-turn cooldown, available on turn 1, so really good for the LB fill rate and offensive stat boost. She can also deal single target stacking physical damage, 220 mod maximum. I think you cast it twice and then it'll be at max. This costs LB as well and it does one hit. So this is a finisher skill. You can triple cast this. It hits thrice, so you just need to weave it into a chain, which is really convenient because she can give other allies chaining abilities. Okay, so AoE imperil light and fire by 120, not the highest there, but she does imbue light and fire and amplify light and fire damage, physical and magic. This costs LB2. This one is AoE, so really nice skills for light and fire. It would be better if she had a higher imperil, but that would be asking too much because this is a really good ability. Okay, so amplify, I think if I can remember, it's 25%. Lastly, she can fill LB gauge by 90 again to herself and 30 to all allies except herself. AoE recover 300 MP and increase her status singles target statting physical attacks modifier by 50. So that's 220 plus 50 for 999 turns. Or this can't be dispelled unless she gets killed. Alright, so really good skill there. And her LB buffs attack and mag by 300 and LB damage by 200%. So she's the highest. She is on par with 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐿, enhanced 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐿, but she does it AoE instead of single target. Also applies a 5-stack Mirage to all allies for 5 turns, 90 LB. So similar to Sun's LB 5-stack Mirage, but I think Ling is better than Sun, right? She's an NV unit. Okay, so next is British Reform passives. They're actually quite similar as her normal form, but she gets Let's Go of her Charm Resist for Stop Resist. And she gains 500 static attack instead of the 300 defense and spirit, but she retains the 1000 HP static. She also gains 10% more HP, MP, defense, and spirit. So before it was 90%, now it's 100. And she also gains blind resist because she's a physical damage dealer in Brave form. So overall, really good. She's gonna benefit from all her offensive stats and defensive stats because she does damage to herself, some of her abilities. So you need to up her survivability, HP. And also, she still has her 200% LB fill rate and auto LB. So that's going to help her with her LB skills. Okay, so how to build. This is just a sample build with some of the limited equipment here. So generally, we want Ling's BS form to be equipped with attack items, HP items, LB fill and auto LB equips. You could equip Dragon's Brush there or Call of the Wild if you want. She's fairly easy to build because she already has maxed out True Dual Wield. You don't need to worry about that. And Chain Camp modifier, so no need for Indestructible Light. So we equip her STMR there. Really good weapon for her. Dagger, high attack, LB fill, and HP. Ultimo weapon for the high flat attack, but you could just equip another one of her STMR or Tonberry's knife if you want. Run it in the item world for the LB fill rate passive and you're good to go. Glorious headpiece from Lucius that has auto LB and high attack. Hat, Barrett's clothes. I think auto LB again and high attack. Limited Moon for high attack and LB fill rate. Heroes Vow Earth for survivability, so that's for HP and LB fill rate and some defense. But feel free to equip killers or attack materia there. Refined Movement is her TMR, which is really good as well, HP, attack, and LB fill rate. Knicker Snack from Eric STMR, that gives LB fill rate and attack bonuses when equipped with a short sword. And lastly, her vision card, Dramatic Costume Change, which gives 115 flat attack, 50% unconditional attack percentage, and 40% HP. So all of her equipments are really good on her TMR, SMR, and vision card. Alright, so that's how you build her. Her normal form, you can build any way you want. I recommend HP, LB fill rate, and auto LB for that one. But she can just shift to and fro from both forms without any penalty, by the way. Alright, so that's it. You can also build her for physical evasion if you want, and passive provoking. Alright, so should you pull? Short answer, absolutely yes, 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 yes. You should pull for Ling. I think she's a really good unit, so I don't know what else to say except she's an amazing unit. The only thing missing is a CGLB. Alright, so also she pairs well with NV Tifa's Graveshift form because they're both wearing Cheongsams. So really, I also love her sprite. Her BSLB is OP, by the way. Pair her with an Entruster like NVA Wallbarts, and she can just spam AoE 5-stack Mirage as long as she can fill her LB. So really nice. You can just cheese physical damaging bosses with her LB. Alright, she's a bulky damage healer who can also debuff, buff, AoE imbue, imperil, AoE buff 4 types of killers while having 200% physical and magic passive killers herself. She is extremely easy to build and has a unique skill set that I haven't seen before. Damage healer that wants LB fill rate. I'm just amazed. Really good unit design and also sprite design, and really happy to have her. So she will be useful for a long time even after her damage has been power crept because her kit is really good. Damage is a bonus there. Don't miss out on her, really good unit. You will regret it if you don't pull for her. Alright, so I think that's it. Let me know, guys, if this video was helpful. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to click on the like button and the notification bell to get notified when I upload new FFBE videos. Also, don't forget to comment if I convince you to pull for Ling, if you already pulled for her. Let me know in the comments. Alright, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.